and squeaky. We watched Bride of Re-Animator.
Bride of
today.
Re-Animator.
Wow.
Yeah.
Neither of us have seen this movie.
No, this was the first for me.
Yeah, but we both seen Re-Animator because that was on our list last year, and you own that movie.
And I own that movie.
How do you think it stacks up to Re-Animator?
Overall, it's definitely inferior.
Yeah.
But I would say, the last maybe half hour or so is right up there with it.
The climax is
it hits all of those really wonderful notes that the first one hits throughout its whole run. This one, I think it plods a little bit at the beginning.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, the conclusion is definitely
it's something. It's something.
very awesome.
We wouldn't even have enough time here to recount every crazy ass thing that happens in this movie. I liked it quite a bit.
So did I.
Yeah, which is I didn't know what to expect from it because the horror community, or at least the people I've seen and talked about the movie, don't like it at all.
Okay,
it's really low on the list, and I think IMDb has it I forget the score on IMDb. It's ridiculously low.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if it's just because people have an affinity for the original, and so nothing that
or
anyone
if it's
made
people
afterwards just don't get it.
Or it's people that maybe haven't seen the original voting on it.
And, can you imagine coming to this without seeing it? Right? Oh my god! Wow. Yeah. It's the. You know what? As far as I'll just go piece by piece, I guess. The acting, if it wasn't for Jeffrey Combs, it would be unbearable. I think he's just even when he's given just crap ass lines to recite. There's something about him.
I think he commits himself so much to it that it's so
into it.
It's like I don't care how ridiculous it sounds. I'm going to take it 100% seriously.
I'm going to sell this. Damn it. And it's a shame that he hasn't had more work outside of just kind of these character roles. You know? But damn does he play that character well. Everyone else is kind of like really cheesy, kind of, but perfect for this movie. It's just it's the type of acting you expect and kind of want to see in a movie like this. Absolutely, if people start doing Shakespearean style, it's not going to work so hot. I guess I wasn't expecting it to be as special effects heavy as the original, just because I know this had a lower budget and it wasn't a wide. I don't believe it was a wide release.
No, I'm sure it wasn't.
I think it was just an indie film, but very effective, very good special effects and. I guess they had so many different effects houses.
Yeah, there was a lot of different
visual effects people on this movie. There's an opening credits. You notice, it went on for a few minutes. The credits alone, but good, just very good. It's like I said. This is if you go into it knowing what this movie is, you're gonna have a lot of fun.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
Faux show. Speaking of effects, this was what I was on my computer doing while the movie was happening, and it's something I can't remember if we talked about it last year for Re-Animator or not, but it's something that really blows my mind. It's got to be a very simple effect, but the fact that the green stuff glows in the way it does,
isn't that like the glow stick stuff?
I don't. But that's the thing.
There's a chemical that glows.
Okay.
Like that. I think.
Because I'm just trying. Because to me, it just like.
It's cool.
Yeah, and it looks like it's lit. Yeah. But the fact that that is lit is just lit. It kind of, and that's why I was trying to search around and see what was actually used.
If I had to bet money on it, I would say it's the stuff they put into glow sticks.
See, I wasn't sure how that stuff worked. Like if it had to be contained within.
I don't think so.
Or once you because I know once you have to break it and mix it together, and that's what makes it start to glow. Yeah. But I wasn't sure how. But that does make sense.
That's just my guess.
Yeah, that makes sense. I
have no.
Did we talk about that last year? Do you remember?
I don't know. We might have.
Okay. I can't. Yeah, I can't remember if. But anyways, that was.
I think that's just a chemical reaction.
Oh yeah,
doing that.
Okay.
If it was lighting, damn.
Yeah, well, that's because I mean, it's. I think the reason I kept thinking that it was lighting is that it's very luminescent. It's very bright.
Yeah.
And even in scenes where the room is fairly well lit, like I mean, I can understand it glowing like that in a dark room and appearing that glowy, but the fact that it does so within this kind of a setting as well is what I was wondering. Why?
Yeah. Pretty sure. Yeah,
it could be.
We'll find out.
Yeah, the one I might have to just bust out the original. I think it has a commentary on it, and maybe in there they say something, but I couldn't find anything on the nets. So
the internet's failed us.
Yeah,
damn you. Favorite scenes.
Scenes.
I have. As many as you want. I don't have like a single scene.
I have two actually. I had one, and then all of a sudden I had another one. But that was the whole. I guess first couple of acts. I was like, man, there's nothing really jumping out at me like the way
you can't really grab onto stuff.
Yeah, it was kind of similar stuff from the original. But it was towards the end. It was right when they finally were putting the woman together, and he was explaining each of the body parts. This is the feet of a ballerina, and it was really bizarre and like kind of creepy, but like kind of poetic and
the legs of a streetwalker.
Yeah. It was like that was the thing. Like it was so ridiculous, but like again, it was like his acting, his delivery.
Yeah,
he's just taking it so serious and committing so much that it becomes this weird poetic thing.
Sure.
But to cap that whole thing off. Like, that was just kind of a cool scene, but then it was an effect. It was when they were showing the hand, and he was pulling on the tendons, and it was making it was just... That was a really cool practical effect, and it made me kind of like...
It's gross.
Like,
really gross.
Cringe a little bit, but like, kind of cool, and it was just, I don't know, that was really awesome.
I think I really like that. That's one of them I singled out, too. That the reason why I like that scene, that moment in particular... When he's doing that is because he's the puppeteer.
Yeah.
Like, that's his whole character.
Well, and then it was like
God.
And it was like, what do you want her to be? And it was like, he was like, I can make her be...
He's pulling strings.
And it was like, I can just move a couple things, but then it's like, or I can make her a murderer, and like pulls it into a fist. And that was really cool.
It was really cool. A really neat idea. I
had one other one, and it was because...
It's probably the same as mine. It's just so ridiculous.
Yeah. The flying head. Because it was so much like... It reminded... Because the cat scene from the original is so ridiculous and like so obviously fake, but like it's just as cats like attacking them and sticking to their heads, and they're like, ah! And... The whole movie, I'm like, man, I just wanted a scene like that. So bad. Just something that was just like
so out
of left field. Like, wow, wasn't expecting that, but this is awesome, and that was it for me.
Well, I knew. I mean, they kind of figured he was gonna. They showed that shadow of him flying earlier when he
I think I must have been looking. Yes, I missed that.
Yeah,
but.
So they did. I mean. They had the bat in the hospital.
Yeah, and that was...
I mean, like, comments like, it was the bat ward or something.
Yeah, well, and that, to me, I was kind of like... at that moment in the film, I was getting a little worried.
Yeah.
Because that was basically the cat scene from the original. And I was just like, oh, man, if they're just going to retread their own, and stuff like that... and so that worried me, but then obviously
they used it to good effect.
Yeah.
Seeing it though, like you saw, like they that's when he brought the crate into the house.
Right.
That's what was in the crate.
Yeah.
He popped up. You never saw it. You just saw like him, Jeffrey Combs' character reacting, and then the shadow of the head bat.
Okay.
But then seeing it when he breaks on the wall was pretty awesome. So that's something where CGI is just never gonna be good enough. Is for the cornball effect of some practical effect.
But that's what I like. It gives it so much more. Just the fact that it's just like a green screen. Yeah, he's probably wearing a green suit.
Probably not even probably just a blue screen at that time.
Oh yeah, but
oh jeez, yeah, that was pretty awesome. The same scenes for me, and just the special effects. Period.
Yeah,
just period. So good, so well done. Even I mean, there's always the effect. There's like, obviously they're just it's like black on black, especially when they're holding the what's his face's head.
Oh yeah.
Which is just black on black background to make it look like a severed head. That stuff's pretty transparent. But there are some effects and there's like, how the hell did they do that?
Yeah.
I still don't know. I really hope. I don't think this DVD that we watch has an audio commentary on it. I'm not.
Oh, no, it didn't. It had.
I really want to see. These are the movies that need commentaries. I have to have them because.
Yeah.
I want to know. Inquiring minds need to know. But some of those effects are just ridiculous, just so cool. And for me, that was the saving grace of the movie because everything else is dumb, intentionally dumb.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's really silly. I mean, it is Bride of Frankenstein, and they just like Re-Animator was Frankenstein. But go see it. If you're a horror fan. Probably are if you're watching these videos. Yeah. Definitely worth a watch.
Yes.
Don't believe everyone's negativity.
Just believe our positivity.
Just believe our positivity. Know what you're getting into though. Don't expect I don't know. The Shining.
Yeah. I mean if you've seen
serious horror movie.
Definitely watch the Re-Animator first.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know. And then you'll know what you're expecting for this one.
That'll be a fun experiment to watch this first.
Yeah, it would be.
See how people react to it. Cool. I think we exhausted that.
Yeah.
Lots of good stuff to say about it. Which I think that's a surprise.
Yeah, I was as a sequel, as a low budget sequel, campy low budget sequel.
Yeah.
It held up.
It was just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was just a lot of fun, and I wasn't really expecting that after all the negativity that I've been saying about it. So next up we have.
Eaten Alive.
The lost Tobe Hooper classic, I guess. We haven't seen this.
Yeah, I came across it when we were putting this stuff together, and I was like, hey, this is Tobe Hooper.
He found it in the DVD rack. Tobe Hooper, someone else in it, too. Tobe Hooper,
the director.
If you don't know, is the director of Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, the original.
And Poltergeist.
Yeah.
But there's someone else in this movie who is like one of the first movies, and I forget who it is.
I don't remember, but
it's an actor.
We shall see.
We'll find out, and we will report back.
Something to do with alligators or something.
Tomorrow. That's the thing I know. I know very little about.
I didn't even really read the back other than seeing Tobe Hooper, and I was like, this will work.
Sure, Tobe Hooper.
And like a weird drawing of it looks like just some kid like in high school is like doodling with like an alligator eating someone, and then they use that for like the cover art of the DVD.
We're gonna watch it and see what it's all about.
Yep.
And we'll talk to you tomorrow. So long.